Hi everybody, Sweet Georgia Pam here, and spiritual director and dream expert, and I just want to answer this question today. How can you tell if a dream is safe enough to work, right? So when I do dream analysis with people, we go into the emotional content that comes up in dreams, and sometimes the dreams that you have are gripping, they grip us in terror, and so I've been talking with my sister, who is a brilliant therapist, about PTSD and when it might be unsafe for me to work with someone on their dreams, because I've been working with dreams for about 12 years, and I just, I feel like a sense of responsibility to people. I take my job very seriously to help when it's helpful, and to direct somebody in the right direction when it's necessary. So how do you know if a dream is safe to work? The short answer is if it's a dream that feels like you can share it out loud and you can get curious about it without being gripped with strong emotional overwhelm, then it's probably safe to work. Because what happens is when your emotions get stuck with traumatic experiences, then a nightmare can get triggered. And when those emotions in waking life then get re-triggered, even if you don't fully understand or know that that trauma has been re-triggered, it can re-trigger that nightmare for you. So when a nightmare or a horrifying dream comes up and you find that you are either unable to even tell the dream out loud or unable to continue being curious about the dream without being overwhelmed with emotion, then it's probably a good dream, because it's addressing some fear that's manageable for you. But when a dream grips you and overwhelms you with a strong negative emotion, then that's a time to consider unpacking the dream at a different time. Don't dig around in your pain, in your dream, and say, what does this mean? What does this mean? Help me find the wisdom from this trauma, or, let me find the silver lining behind this moment. If it's a dream that's too painful, then let it be. Just let it be. If it helps to tell the dream and not work it, that's a beautiful experience, because you're telling the story of your emotional content without digging around in that pain. But that can be an indicator that it might be a really good time for you to seek a professional, safe container to unpack that experience and to go deeper. So I just want to do a really important caveat that I am a spiritual director and I am a dream expert. I use my intuition with dream work, and I use my own experience with people with sharing dreams. I run dream groups. I am not a mental health professional. I am not a licensed therapist, psychologist, psychiatrist, what have you. So that would be the dividing line for me, when I might direct somebody to a professional who can hold a safer container while you wrestle with those experiences, because the dream is the gateway to those experiences. And if you're not ready, physically, mentally, emotionally stable in that experience to share, then we might seek a stronger container for you. So that's the answer. How to know when a dream is safe to work is essentially if you can tell the dream and get curious without being overwhelmed or overcome with emotion. In fact, I'll give you an example. Years ago, I ran a dream group in Sandy Springs that was a really active dream group, and I had a pretty powerful dream a couple of days before the group, and I was really excited to share the dream because I had been working with these people, and we kind of all, clicked, and they had heard a lot of my dreams in the past, and so I knew that I wanted to share the dream with them. So I knew when I had the dream, I'm like, this is pretty all-encompassing of kind of my whole life experience lately. So I was interested in getting feedback about it. But this thing happened as I was sharing the dream. I was not emotional, and I was halfway through the dream, and as I was sharing it out loud, I was also sort of already connecting it to maybe what it represented for me, the waking life event. And I got halfway through the dream. I got to this one sort of peak moment in the dream, and suddenly, internally, some of the meaning clicked for me and connected to this trauma this wound, this emotional wound that I had, that I thought I was fine about, but it opened up this overwhelm. And I just, in the middle of this group experience, I just started, like, I choked up and I couldn't get another word out because I was overcome with emotion. I was just at the brink of like bawling, like big, ugly cry bawling. I had no words. I couldn't say anything because I was so overcome with this sudden rush of emotions. I didn't know what to do because I really wanted to dig around in this dream. I wanted the symbolism. I wanted to do the deep inner work. I wanted to bring the wisdom to light about what the trauma had to teach me. But sometimes it's just an opportunity when you share a dream to express the emotional content, and that's enough. And that was enough for me that day. So my dear friend, as I tried to like choke out words, I kept trying to talk and not cry, and it was just not working for me. And she just leaned in and she said, Pam, is it that you don't want to cry, or is it that you don't want to keep going and tell the dream? I said, no, I don't want to cry. And just answering her, I was able to start talking again. So I told the rest of the dream, but I held that like space for that one part of the dream, and I didn't work it. I had closed off at that point to actual analysis or thoughts or feedback about the dream, because it was just a matter of sharing the experience of the dream. That's all I needed. That's all I could do at that point. Now later, as I worked through the emotional trauma in my life, through my own processing, and I got further away from the life experience, I was able to later go back and revisit the dream and break it into its pieces and get curious about it. And then it was a healthy way, or a healthy time for me to work with the dream. So they're just not always, sometimes they go deeper than we're ready to work. And when that's the case, please allow that to be the case for your dream. If you have a traumatic dream and you want to share it, I will be a listening ear. I won't provide any thoughts or feedback. I will just hold space for you to share the dream experience, and I'm happy to do that. You can just reach out to me. sweetgeorgiapam.com is my website, and you can go to the contact page and share your dream. I'll be a holding place for you if you'd like. Thanks so much for listening, guys.